it was brought to my attention today from several different directions about the violence that is an integral part of a Trump rally. I'm not talking about the counter-protesters who try to disrupt his speeches. That's not violence. I'm talking about the people, the Trump supporters, who start using force in their fists and their feet and their spittle and their use of the F word and on and on and on. Now, Trump swears he's not trying to incite violence, which is bullshit. That's exactly what he's trying to do. Anyway, as the Daily Beast reports, so the beatings are growing more and more common. An analysis by the Beast shows. The latest came Tuesday in Janesville, Wisconsin, when a 15-year-old girl was assaulted at a Trump rally. The kind of event that the reality show star has previously described as a love fest. You know, Trump rally, love fest. In a video posted by ABC News, the girl, who was there to protest, can be heard accusing a gray-haired man of, quote, touching her breasts, unquote. As the crowd taunts her, she reached out to push someone off camera. Then she is maced at very close range as several people in the crowd cheer. A person in the crowd can be heard yelling, "You goddamn communist nigger lover, get the hell out of here," to the 15-year-old girl. On Wednesday morning, the Janesville police released a statement detailing the incident. Quote, "A male in the crowd groped the 15-year-old girl. She pushed him away. Another person in the crowd sprayed her. We are currently looking for 2 suspects, one for the sexual assault and one for the pepper spray." Love fest. The Daily Beast has kept a running tally of arrests and police reports filed in connection with Trump rallies just since the beginning of this year. And thus far this year, they've found police-reported criminal activity, including assault, disorderly conduct, trespassing, and disturbing the peace, at a minimum of 12 of his rallies, resulting in 55 arrests or citations. The Beast has also found at least 12 reports filed by victims alleging they had been pushed, shoved, punched, called racial slurs, or had their signs ripped from their hands. That means, in total, police-reported crimes have occurred at 1 in 7 of Trump's rallies. Police-reported. But when you look at only the last month, the number jumps, suggesting a ramp-up in violence as Trump's campaign gathers steam. Take a February 3rd event at Barton Coliseum in Little Rock, Arkansas. Local police in the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office got a report of a rough removal of a protester. The video that was taken of this shows this person being thrown into a tree. At a February 29th rally at Valdosta State University, where no incidents were recorded by police, some 30 black students were asked to leave. One booted sophomore told Time that Trump supporters chanted, "Trump, Trump, Trump," and said, "Nigger, go home," and "Get out of here." The students were escorted out by police. "I was scared," the sophomore involved in this told the reporter. "You don't know if somebody's going to come up and hit you or throw something at you. It's really terrifying." March 5th rally in Orlando shows more than 60 protesters being escorted from the event and on their way out being pushed, manhandled, and hit by Trump supporters. One man at the University of Central Florida arena slammed a protester to the ground. At that rally, as Trump has at many, he made sure to warn the crowd not to hurt the protesters, but he appeared barely able to contain his glee at the violence that ensued. "It's sort of exciting, isn't it? Sort of exciting," Trump said as another protester was removed. "Aren't the Trump rallies the greatest?" Scrums broke up in the back at the University of Illinois at Chicago Pavilion on March 11th, where a Trump supporter wearing an "All Lives Matter" shirt yelled at protesters to go do something. instead of interrupting the event. A young man who identified himself as Mexican shot back, "You're a cocksucker for a fascist." Punches were then thrown before the night's proceedings were called off by a voice in the loudspeaker. Trump, of course, is blaming all the violence at his rallies on the protesters, who he claims are supporters of Bernie Sanders. It just goes on and on here. Jesus Christ. I mean, I've got page after page of this. The Daily Beast put a lot of it together. Slate also did. June 16th, a photographer was bloodied when he was hit in the head by a rock thrown at a Trump rally. May 28th, San Diego, Trump supporters pepper spray protesters outside a rally. April 23rd, Bridgeport, Connecticut, protester pulled away in a chokehold by a police officer after reportedly trying to run back into a Trump rally he was being escorted out of. April 11th, Albany, New York, protester at a rally was shoved in the face twice by a Trump supporter. Trump later compared a different protester's action at the same event to what's happening with ISIS. Tucson, March 19th, a protester at a Trump rally was sucker punched and kicked by a 32-year-old man who was then arrested on an assault charge. Same day, Tucson, a Trump security official and Trump campaign manager Lewandowski appeared to grab and pull a protester at the same Tucson rally. March 9th, Fayetteville, North Carolina, a black protester being escorted out of a Trump rally was sucker punched by a white bystander. The individual who was attacked was then taken to the ground by law enforcement officials. The man who threw the punch does not appear to have been detained. March 1st, Louisville, Kentucky, a black woman was surrounded and shoved by a number of individuals at a Trump rally who began shouting, "Nigger, nigger, nigger." December 14th in Las Vegas, individuals at a Trump rally yelled "Sieg Heil" and "Light the motherfucker on fire" toward a black protester who was being physically removed by security staffers, not police. It just goes on and on. So, I'm reading these violence reports, and I've watched enough of the Trump rallies to be able to make, my 10-cent psychological evaluation of this son of a bitch where it concerns violence. He loves it. He loves it. He encourages it. It's like sex to him, I get the feeling. Because he stands there at his little podium, and he looks out over the crowd, and he is inciting them to hate. I said last night, he has unleashed America's inner racist. But it's more than that. It's much more than that. Trump incites his followers to direct their hatred not toward the institutions or the agencies or the 1% who have caused all of this frustration, but to direct their hatred toward various groups in this country.